Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout, everybody. I am your host, FaZe Crypto, and everybody has been wanting me to talk about Zuckerberg and his cryptocurrency, quote unquote. From this point forward, I'm going to be referring to Libra as a digital currency. I think that it's important that we maintain control over language, and from now on, I want everybody out there to stop referring to Libra as a cryptocurrency. I think that this is going to be an important point to be made. I mean, obviously, we can't help but compare Libra to the greater cryptocurrency space, Bitcoin included, and of course the overall space like Bitcoin and all these other cryptos, that work more closely with the actual definition of a cryptocurrency, will certainly get their publicity from more people talking about Libra. I mean, that much is sure. But as far as I'm capable of driving the narrative and what little influence that this side of the internet has, this YouTube page has, I am no longer referring to Libra as a cryptocurrency. I think we should refer to it as a digital currency and leave cryptocurrency out of it. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. But of course, right now, Zuckerberg is in some hot water. People go over, Facebook's past. For anybody who's been keeping up to date on what's been happening with Libra, of course, they're talking about how Facebook's plan up until now, their strategy as a quote-unquote business, has been to sort of just smash their way into a space and then apologize later, rather than going through the usual aspects of getting their ducks in a row beforehand. And they're receiving a lot of criticism, and rightfully so, I'd say. So this article right here, Libra's biggest problem, will be starting off looking at this. And at these hearings, Libra is in an impossible position. It must be centralized enough to prevent illicit activity by freezing funds, but decentralized enough not to discriminate against participants based on the use of the funds. And I remember I was watching those hearings, and I was seeing them talking about how basically, from the point of view of the guy who was, I assume, representing Facebook, he was talking about how Facebook won't have access to the financial information that'll be made available with Libra. And one of the interviewers responded by talking about how people essentially leave their rights at the door when they click on that submit to user agreement and stuff, with a lot of interesting aspects. So Facebook's Libra is a good idea with a lot of risks. That's dangerous thinking right there. I think it's not a good idea at all to give Facebook this kind of power. And obviously, I don't think as a cryptocurrency we will see Libra getting that. I think right now it's a lot of hot air. I mean, we see stuff like the current situation. One of the interesting things that I noticed that's actually being talked about now more frequently than before, which I kind of predicted, was back when Facebook and Google and the like all together banned cryptocurrency related advertisement on their platforms. And it's interesting to see them sort of coming from behind now and coming out with their own cryptos. Satoshi was following a cyberpunk dream. They wanted to bring privacy to digital payments, to translate the offline experience of cash transactions into the online realm. The idea that a user needn't provide or prove their identity to execute a transaction with anyone else on the internet, just as there's no need for me to show a document proving that I'm so-and-so every time I hand over some dollar notes to someone. And this is sort of on the other end of the spectrum. I mean, Facebook, of course, with their reputation of censorship and all these things, it's very interesting to see how something like the Facebook cryptocurrency is almost on the exact opposite end of the spectrum from the censorship resistant aspects of Bitcoin and the like. This is sort of bringing into the light the conversation of permissionless blockchain, and essentially there's a huge divide between what we can expect from Libra. So just want to go right ahead. Today we're sharing plans for Libra, a newly formed Facebook subsidiary whose goal is to provide financial services that will let people access and participate in the Libra network. The first product Calibra will introduce is a digital wallet for Libra. So I mean, I think that it's pretty obvious. Facebook's going to have a big role to play. I mean, as you know, when we want to talk about where we're going to be headed, I think the more power Libra gets, I mean, it is sort of it's an interesting thing. I mean, so think of the 2 billion unbanked adults from the world's developing countries, the people that Libra ostensibly wants to serve. A lack of education, poor credit records, and untrustworthy state-issued ID papers means these people can't qualify for accounts at local banks, primarily because these local banks are themselves compelled to comply with strict international know your customer procedures, lest they are cut off from their foreign bank counterparts. For a very large number of the world's adults, identity is a very real barrier to commerce. So it is interesting to see this sort of stuff. I mean, this is right next door to crypto. I mean, I don't understand why people just don't start using Bitcoin. I mean, there really is no need for Libra. It's essentially just Facebook knocking on the door of the cryptocurrency. I mean, I think at this point everybody realizes that digital currency is an inevitability. I mean, the more people using smartphones and these things, it's going to happen regardless of our plight. Anyways, currently Bitcoin we're starting to see sort of a bull flag shaping up right here. The past two candles have been pretty red. Outlook bearish, but we'll see. I mean, we'll continue to keep you guys up to date on what's happening. Top performers, we got Ren, blah blah blah. You don't care about that, but yeah, it is interesting to see how Libra has been under this microscope now. And I mean, the key problem, the key issue here is going to be how is it going to comply with existing aspects of commerce and the like. I mean, the entities that are aligning themselves behind Libra, definitely a course for concern as well. Yeah, Libras are masters of telling white lies. So yeah, Libra trying to be simultaneously pro-privacy and pro-KYC. This forms an inherent contradiction. Yeah, I think that they're sort of capitalizing on the lack of knowledge regarding the cryptocurrency space that's prevalent right now. I think that they see their opportunity to really come in swinging into the space and use cryptocurrency sort of as a vehicle to sort of pave the way. So it will be interesting how these different things start to move themselves out. But still, a new survey, 49% of Americans and Brits don't trust Facebook's Libra. Citing a survey from instant messaging application Viber, the news outlet reveals 49% of users in the United Kingdom and the United States said they would not put trust in the social media giant when it comes to its own digital currency. Those responds, specified that they would not trust Facebook at all in regards to keeping their private information secure from using Libra. And why should you? I mean, I think Facebook's really given little to no reason for that in the first place. I mean, I kind of understand where they're coming from there. But yeah, I mean, that's my perspective. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little live stream. I'll see you guys next video. Have a good one.